So you're doing great sales, maybe even amazing sales, and yet somehow you're still wondering where all your money went. Sound familiar? Here's the truth that nobody tells you. Your business isn't a leaky bucket because of your sales. It's a leaky bucket because of what's sitting right behind you in that stock room, quietly draining you dry. My name's Alvin. I am a bricks and mortar retail business coach. I've run large retail businesses for the past 16 years, mainly pharmacies. I've built them, sold them, and in fact, I found my own hole in the bucket the hard way, standing in my own storeroom, staring at the stock that wasn't moving at all, and kept telling myself the problem was that we needed more customers. So let me paint a picture like this. So picture your store or your business like a bucket that you're filling with water every day, and you sales are pouring in and you feel really, really productive, but there's a hole in the bottom, and it doesn't matter how much you pour in, it just runs straight back out. And most retailers pour more water in. So in this case, I'm meaning more sales, more marketing, more hours, when the real problem is the hole. And for most of us, most retailers that I work with, the hole is sitting in the stock room. So why can't we fix this, or why can't good sales be why can't good sales and no money be true at once? So let's think of it like your revenue being a speedometer, and which tells you how fast you're going. And it's kind of like versus the fuel gauge. And your cash position is the fuel gauge. You can't be doing 100 Ks or 100 miles per hour. You can be doing 100 miles per hour looking fantastic, and at the same time, still run out of fuel on the roadside. So this is what most retailers are doing. They're staring at their speedometer, wondering why they're stuck on the shoulder, like on the road, right? So $40,000 with most retailers I work with over the past 5 years. I found with my clients that are doing 1 million or more in sales that they've got about 40K sitting in the back room, in the storeroom, under the shelves, hidden inside the gondolas, which are unconverted. Basically, that's tied up stock that isn't moving. So that's not revenue. That's fuel that you've already poured into the tank, and it's just sitting there, not powering anything. And you can't fix what you can't see. So most retail store owners aren't even looking at the fuel gauge, right? They're just constantly looking at how fast they can go down. And so the stockroom is one of 5 places that cash quietly leaks out through your retail store. And today, I'm going to pop the hood on one of them and help you solve this problem. And that is the problem of inventory in your stockroom. So 120 days is a magic number with the retailers I work with initially, and then we move it down to 90 days. But 120 days, if you're a retailer that hasn't looked at this stuff before, you need to work out how much stock is in your store that has been sitting on the shelves, back office, under the gondolas for longer than 120 days. Not roughly, exactly. So what I mean by that, you can't just guesstimate how much stock you have. You need to know the exact number, dollar value, units, SKU units. So would you have to go and check? That's not a knock on you. That's just looking at the speedometer instead of the fuel gauge. So just think about it. You're at home, you've got your fridge at home, you know when something's gone off, you can smell it before you open the container nearby the fridge. The thing is, a stockroom doesn't smell. Dead stock doesn't really announce itself to you, the retail store owner. It just sits there quietly, taking up shelf space and tying up cash. And because it doesn't smell, nobody goes looking. So here's what I want you to do. So first of all, you need to pull a age stock report from your point of sale system. So definitely you're working a point of sale system. If you're doing over $1 million and you haven't got a point of sale system, that's the first thing you need to do. So you need to pull your stock report, your age stock report from your point of sale system, sort it out by last sold date, takes a minimum of 10 minutes. And then that report is the smell test for your stock room. Same thing as what you have done with your fridge. It tells you what smells off, even though you can't see it from the shop floor. So of course, this depends on a whole heap of conditions, right? You need to make sure that your data integrity is all good and somebody's regularly checking the stock levels and doing stock counts and that kind of thing. I'm assuming you've got all that covered. If you don't, I'm going to link to my video up the top on how to set yourself up to be able to do that. But yeah, so I'm just going to assume you've got all that done. So I was working with a retailer in Maine. He had 100K in dead stock, ran the smell test, cleared it. 12 weeks later, he had $8,000 a month extra in cash, right? Same shop, same customers. They just finally checked the fridge. So what I'm talking about here is exactly what I talk about in the cash leak scorecard. So the cash leak scorecard does what I'm explaining to you. It does in 15 minutes. It checks all 5 fridges in your business. Remember, we're just talking about one today. That's inventory. And so it does all 5 fridges in your business and tells you exactly which one's actually gone off first and which one you need to start to fix immediately. The link's in the description below. So let's carry on. And we need to get to the next part, which is identify. Okay, so step 1 is you pull the age stock report every single month. So this is something that you need to get into a habit in. You need to set up a system. I'm sure you have a stock controller or you've got a team member that can do this for you. The main thing for you is you need to set up a system as the retail store owner. So you want to create a system because you want to do this not when you remember, but you want to make sure that it gets done every month, same day, like clockwork, because only then you can really start to compare like with like, and you can really start to understand what's going on under the hood of your business, right? So think of it like a smoke detector. You don't wait for the house to be on fire to check to see if the smoke detector is working, right? You test it on schedule. You catch the problem while it's still small. And a monthly stock check is like your smoke detector for cash. It catches the smolder before it's a fire. So once you've identified the stock, the next thing you need to do is you need to clear the stock. So many retailers have a ton of issues with this. And I get it. I did too in the beginning. Is my mic working? Yeah. Because, I've spent all this money on stock. I think I've made the right decision in buying it. So I've got a little bit of an ego thing happening here. And all of a sudden it doesn't sell. I'm like, oh God, am I the bad guy? Am I the incompetent person that can't run a retail store? So we tend to forget about it, or either we hold on to it, hoping that it'll sell, or we kind of hide it away under the gondolas. I know that's not you. Hide it away in the back room until we get to a point like this where we're running out of cash, and this may apply also for your retail store managers and stock controllers if you have any. So what we need to do is we need to clear the stock. Okay, so once you know it's dead, clear it. Not a fire sale. We save that strategy for later. Not 50% off everything, not a panic sale. That's not a strategy, that's a flare gun. So what we need to do is we need to do tiered planned markdowns. Think about how you see the large retailers doing this, especially the clothing retailers. They do this very well because fashion is seasonal and they quickly need to get rid of stock to get in the new season stock. But not only that, they run on very, very thin margins for cash flow, even though they do make great profitability. So they need to be constantly recycling the cash that they've invested in their business. And we, as smaller retailers, need to do very much the same thing. So if we're getting onto it and we have a system in place and we've got a clearance strategy in place, this is all you need to do really, is do a tiered plan markdown. So 120 days, you have one discount level. If it's 180 days, you push harder, discount it more. If you've got stock that's been sitting on your shelf and has not sold for a year, you need to clear it out completely. Because, at that point, it's not even inventory anymore, it's rent. You're paying to store something that's actively losing you money. Now, it's a hard thing for retailers to think about because you need to think about this is all real estate on your shelf that you are using to make you money, right? So if it's just sitting there, it's not making you money, it's costing you money, you may as well replace it with something that's going to make you money. A lot of money's in that sentence. So once we've cleared out the stock, we need to get to the point where we're looking at what our reorder system is, right? So this is the reinvestment part. So cash freed from clearance goes straight back into stock that's actually moving, not just not just topping up the same lines because that's what you've always ordered. And reordering on sales history alone, which is what most people do, most retailers do, and that's an okay strategy. But reordering on sales history alone is like driving by only looking in the rear view mirror. It tells you exactly where you've been, tells you nothing about what's actually making money versus what's actually popular versus what actually is going to be coming up in the future from a seasonality point of view, as it is with our products, with our stores. So you can have a product that's flying off the shelf in the mirror, but that's barely paying for the petrol. And so you need to make sure that you have a proper reorder system in your store, and you need to think about doing that and setting one up properly. So yeah, sure. A lot of retailers push back to me and they say, well, we don't need a reorder system. And they always give me the grandpa excuse. Grandma and grandpa had a store back in the good old days, and they knew their shelves by feel, by what moved, what paid the bills, what was just taking up space. But we need the modern version of that, the windscreen version, right? Not the rear view version. So especially in these time and days that we're living in, margin and cash impact your bottom line so much. And it's not just what sold last month that you need to be aware of. So when you reorder, are you looking through the windscreen at margin, or are you just checking the rear view mirror of what sold? It's really, really important. So I just want to quickly recap the rule of 3. You need to identify, clear, and reorder smart. So don't fix all of these 3 on Monday morning. Pick whichever you're weakest at, double down on the first one and work through it. So that's super important. So like I mentioned, all of this I've got in my retail cash leak scorecard, and inventory, which we touched on briefly today, is just one hole in the bucket, but there's 4 more. There's margins, expenses, supplier terms, visibility. Most of us have more than one leak going on in our retail stores. We just can't see them yet. Or if we know what they are, we don't know how to fix them, right? Which is exactly why I built the retail cash leak scorecard. It's a really quick diagnostic kit. It's got 15 honest questions, which will take you about 15 minutes, and you'll know exactly which leak is costing you the most right now, and you know exactly which one to work on right now. And so there's no guessing, there's no hoping, there's actually knowing where the hole actually is. And the links in the comments, not in the comments, in the description below. So next time I'm going to be popping the hood on margins, and so you can understand why you can be doing great sales and still running on empty every month. So make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, and check out the retail cash leak scorecard in the description below. Cool bananas. Until next time, see you in the next one. Catch you later.